Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Prof, and then good morning, guys. In this time, I will explain about my presentation of bioremediation technique as an alternative in efforts water pollution control. The first is introduction. Also, the various policies and regulations related to water pollution control has been enacted. So, the raising of water quality in water bodies are still ongoing. So, this is due to the weakness of monitoring and enforcement practice, as well as the pollution control technologies in water-based chemicals cannot achieve the effective standard. So, this explanation aims to examine the bioremediation process in the context of control of technology for polluted water bodies, which is include the isolation of bacteria, testing bacteria, integrating pollutants, identification of bacteria, and then the propagation of the bacteria. Next, the bioremediation. The definition of bioremediation is the use of microorganisms that have been selected to be grown on certain pollutants as an effort to reduce the levels of these pollutants. During the bioremediation process, the enzyme produced by microorganisms to modify the structure of the toxic pollutants to become the less complex, and then it does becoming the metabolites that are not toxic and harmful. Then the basic principle, the biological treatment of polluted water is in principle to mimic the natural process of self-purification in the rivers in degrading pollutants from the role of the microorganisms. The role of microorganisms in the self-purification process is basically in twofold, which is raw attached and suspended microorganisms. The growth of attached growth process, these microorganisms are attached to a surface, for example, on rocks or aquatic plants. Furthermore, they are applied to the wastewater treatment plants, for example, with trickling filter. During the aerobic treatment of domestic wastewater, the bacteria in general that are often found are gram-negative for shape heterotrophic organisms, including the Zooxanthellae, Pseudomonas, Achromobacter, Chromobacter, Alkaligens, and Phylobacterium. Then the filamentous bacteria are also found in the biofilms, as are the organisms such as Pipemicrobacter and then Nitrosomonas. Next, about the suspended growth process. to observe, and pure subcultures will be made to be used into reducing the pollutants. Next is the bioremediation application. First one is isolation of bacteria and reduction of pollutant levels. The currently research and application of bioremediation for polluted water can be divided into two, which is the indigenous bacteria and the commercial product bacteria. The indigenous bacteria are the result of bacteria isolation carried out by the relevant laboratory. The best isolated selected can be combined in the consortium. The development of bioremediation science and technology make the production of microorganisms or enzymes in the commercial market increasingly easy to obtain. This is some example of the use of indigenous isolates in controlling polluted water bodies. The example of the result of the isolation and selection of indigenous bacteria originating from the Siak River sludge consists of six isolates of bacteria that can reduce the lead metal. The bacteria consists of Micrococcus, Bacterium, Phenylbacterium, and Hydrobacter, Morococcus, and then Flavobacterium. And this is some example of the use of commercial product bacterial isolates in controlling polluted water bodies in and fish farming. The commercial products for bioremediation are commonly used to maintain the quality of lake water, like foam, algal bloom, and then nitrate phosphate reduction and increase the clarity. In addition to stagnant waters, the commercial products have also been applied to flowing water. And then the identification of bacteria. The identification can be done in several ways, including observation of cell morphology, brain staining, and then the biochemical test. For indigenous bacteria, the example of the results of isolation and identification obtained were Bacterium and hydroindigenous bacteria of the Phenylbacter, Micrococcus, Bacterium, Morococcus, and then Flavobacterium types. And then for examples of the result of isolation for commercial bacteria, it's obtained types of Bacillus, Pseudomonas, Escherichia, as well as the enzyme amylase, proteacelicase, esterase, uracase, cellulase, telanase are also known to be able to degrade organic pollutants like BOD and COD in the rivers. And then the last one is the bacterial multiplication. For indigenous bacteria, it carried out through the following stage, which is making stock cultures, maintaining cultures, multiplying cultures in first stage, multiplying cultures in second stage, and then making products and making the production cultures. Different from the indigenous bacteria, the bacteria originating from the commercial products generally only